Okay, let's see what is Jenkins. So Jenkins is an open source automation tool. So normally, in case if you have to build end-to-end CI/CD pipeline, we can integrate different tools. Like for example, we can integrate Git, Docker, Kubernetes, Ansible, whatever DevOps tool we have. So we can integrate in such a way so that it will act as a continuous integration and continuous deployment tool. And the basic requirements for Jenkins is Java because Jenkins is a Java application. So the prerequisite is Java, and then operating system it can work on any operating system, Windows, Mac, Linux, and then RAM requirements minimum 1 GB of RAM is required, and disk for installation and saving the logs we require disk space. So as a prerequisite, we have to install Java JDK, and we need a web browser. Okay, because we will be having the Jenkins UI to work with that. We need a web browser and a Git for source code management. And actually, I have already shared a video like how we can install this on Linux. So it is pretty easy. First, you update the apt, install Java, and then you can directly install this key, and then you can just sign that key with the package. And once you do sudo apt install Jenkins, it will be up and ready. Okay. So, and to check the status of Jenkins, you can use sudo systemctl start Jenkins. So I have the machine already configured with Jenkins. So it is here. So I will skip and continue as admin for now. We have this Jenkins URL. So this is the IP address of your machine. Okay. So you can use this one and click on save and finish. So once this is done, so you can click on start using Jenkins. So your Jenkins is ready. So let's try to create a job. Okay. So here if you see you have different types like freestyle, pipeline, and we have multi-configuration project, and then we have multi-branch pipeline. Okay. So all these are types of pipelines. So if you see these are the types of pipelines. So we have freestyle, declarative, and scripted. So freestyle is just you will be directly writing commands on the UI, whereas declarative and scripted pipeline you will be writing a pipeline like this. Okay, so based on this you will be executing different steps. For example, here we are using build. For build, we will be using Maven, and for testing, we will be using Sonarqube, and for deployment, we will be using Ansible or any other tool. So we can give it in a different step format. Okay, we can see this later. And for now, we have the Jenkins machine ready. So okay, now let's give it a name. Okay, let's give it as demo, and then click on freestyle, and then okay. So if you see, it is asking for description. Just give demo pipeline. Just for your understanding, you can give whatever you want. And then here it is asking for source code. Okay, source code we can use Git. Okay, so when you select Git, it will ask for the repository URL. Let's go to GitHub. We will use this repository now. So when we come here, we have these files. Okay, just click on code, just copy the URL, and then you can paste it in the GitHub repo. Okay, just paste it. So here that is public repo, so there is no need of providing any details. In case if it is private, then actually you have to provide credentials as well, otherwise it will not be able to access. So if you see here, by default it is showing as master. Okay, but when you come here, the branch is main. Okay, in case if you give master and if you execute, it will throw error. So just change it as main, and then once this is done, just save it. Okay, now if you have to run this pipeline, we have to click on build now. If you see, we have console output. So what is it? So it is cloning the repository which we have provided, and then it is checking everything, and it is committing a new message, and it has finished success. So this is how we run pipelines. Okay, so okay, this is done. Now let's see. So once this code is running, actually what will happen? So when we started installing, actually it installed plugins right in the initial step. So if you see here, we have different configurations in Jenkins. So if you come here, this is a job. Okay, when you click on it, you can build it, and then actually if you see here, um, let's go to this GitHub page. So how many files we have? We have three, one folder and two files. So when you go to this one, you will have something called workspace. When you click on that, you will see those files. If you see, we have one folder and two files. So that GitHub, it got copied here. Okay. And then when you click on build now, it will build. And in case if you have to do some modifications to this job, you can click on configure. So when you do configure, you can directly click here as well. If you click here, it will directly go to that step. Source code management, it will come here. Build triggers, it will go to build triggers. So similarly, post build actions. In case of if you have to move to multiple sections easily, we have these shortcuts here. Okay. So the job is done. And then now let's see one more thing. This is called Sonarqube. What is the use of Sonarqube? Sonarqube is a testing tool. For example, in case if you have to test the code quality of your application, then you can use Sonarqube. Let me log in. So what Sonarqube actually does, in case if our code doesn't match any of the criteria which is set by developers or by our team, it will fail the job. So actually it will have something called quality gates and quality profiles. So based on that, it will work. Okay. So what is Sonarqube? A platform for continuous inspection of code quality. So if you are writing a code, it has to be of high quality. In case if we are not providing quality, then actually lots of bugs can go into for machines. Okay. For code. So to fix that, we have to have a quality code so that the applications which come out will be of high quality and of less bugs. Okay, so this helps in maintaining high quality codes, and it integrates with CI/CD pipeline. We can add this in our end-to-end CI/CD pipeline itself, so that it automatically checks whatever changes we make, and it will be providing the output. In case if it doesn't match any of the criteria, then it will fail the job. Okay, so it supports multiple languages. Okay, so for example, in case if you have application in Java, it will support C Sharp, C++, C, Python, whatever language it is there. For each one, it will have rules. Okay, so based on that rules, it will work. So we have something called okay. And what are the benefits of Sonarqube? Improved code quality and team collaboration. In case if there is some code issues, then we can contact multiple teams and we can work so that we will have good collaboration. And then it also helps in continuous monitoring. In case of any issues, it will be monitoring that issues, and it will be sending the reports. Okay, and we have something called quality profiles. So quality profiles are nothing but set of rules. Okay, set of rules which has to be followed. Quality gates are the checks. That rules it should in case if we have kept the criteria as 80%, this quality profile should match this one. This quality gate, it will act as a checkpoint. In case if that particular thing is not met, then it will fail the job. So this profile is a set of rules. Okay. um, okay, let's see that as well. So we have seen the Jenkins, we have built a job. Now let's see how to install Sonarqube. Okay, so I have the EC2 machine ready. So for Sonarqube also Java is the prerequisites. So let's check the version. So we have OpenJDK 17. So Java 17 is running. So now let's download the package. Okay. So to download the package, just go here. We can just copy this one. Just copy this one and paste it here. Okay, so if you see, it is downloading in zip format. So in case if we have to download in case if we have to uninstall this one, we have to use unzip. Okay, so let's install the unzip package. So if you see here, the package is there. So let's unzip this one. So the package is ready. If you see here, Sonarqube is there. Let's go inside that one. So what is there inside Sonarqube? So we have all these libtemp logs and then a bin config. So all the installables will be in bin folder. Okay, let's go into bin, and then if you do ll, so we have packages for different versions for Linux, Mac OS, Windows, everything we have. We are using Linux, right? Let's go into Linux, and then if you see here, we have sonar.sh. Let me try to run that one. So it is giving the options like what are all the options that can be executed with sonar.sh. Okay, so I will just do console. So Sonarqube starting executed. So it started executing. So it will be up in few minutes. So how can we access this one? Sonarqube by default works on port number 9000. If you Google Sonarqube default port, it is 9000. So by default it will be working on this port. Okay. So in case if you have to access that one, we can come here, just copy the IP, and we have to give 9000. But actually it will not work. Why? Because this port 9000 we have not enabled, right? We have to enable the traffic to come in and go out. So to do that one, actually we have to come here, and then under security in the EC2 instances, click on security group. So security group is nothing but a group of IPs which can be assigned to particular VM or something like that. So you can use same security group for multiple VMs as well. Okay. Security group is a set of rules. So we are editing the inbound rules. Click on add rule. So let's give it as custom, and then we have to give the IP. If you see here, I have given 8080 as well. This is the port number of Jenkins. If you see here, it works on 8080. If we don't give that IP, it won't work. Okay. If you see here, it has failed. Okay, the site cannot be reached. So when we do enable this one, and we have to give the IP, so it will allow all the IPs. Okay, add rule. Sorry, let's delete. We can save rules. Okay, so once this is done, we see here it is like up. Okay, it is already up. Let's do, see, it has already logged in, and the default password for this one is admin. So click on admin login. So it is asking for the old password. It is admin. Let me give new password, and again I am giving new password. Update. So we have the Sonarqube ready. Okay, so once this is ready, so we have to click manually. Okay, this is for setting up the project. Okay, so we can click on manually, and then we can give a name. Okay, let's give it as demo, and then click on setup. So we are using Jenkins, right, for integrating this one. So we can, similar to Jenkins, we have GitHub Actions, Bitbucket pipelines, GitLab CI. In case if we are using Azure related pipelines, we can use this one. So for now we are using Jenkins. Let's click on this one, and then we are using GitHub, right? So we are using GitHub. So let's select GitHub, and then just click on configure analysis, continue, continue. And then here we are using sample code based on HTML. So let's click on this one. Okay. So we will have Sonar project key equal to demo. Just copy this one and paste it somewhere. Okay. I have pasted it here, and then finish this tutorial. Okay. So once this is done, it will be analyzing and it will come up. Meanwhile, what we can do, we can go to our user. Okay. Here, click on my account, and then here we have something called security. Okay, click on security. We should generate tokens. Okay, in case if you have to access the servers, we have to use tokens. Okay, so click on this and click on demo. Whatever name you want, you can give. Okay, I am giving a demo just for reference. And then here we have three options. Okay, one is for project analysis token. In case if it has to be applied for only single project, then you can select this one. Or else in case if it has to be used with multiple projects, you can click on this one. Okay, global analysis token, and then you can click on this one. And then in how many days it has to expire. So we have 30 days, 98 days, 1 year, or else no expiration. So let's keep it for 30 days, generate. And then you have to copy this one. Once you forget this one, actually it will not come back again. You will not be able to see. Just copy this one and paste it here. Okay, so once this is done, if you see, we have talked about quality gates and quality profiles, right? So let's click on quality profiles. Okay, so we have all these are built-in quality profiles. If you see here, this is for C sharp, this is for CSS, we have for Docker, we have for Flex, Go, HTML, JSON. So for all programming languages, we have rules. Okay, these are the default rules. If you click here, if you see here, we have rules, and this is default. We can't modify default rules. Okay, so just click on these rules. So if you see here, this is a rule: equal to plus should not be used instead of plus equal to, and abstract class should not have public constructs. So all these are rules. This should be matched with the code which we write. In case if you are not able to match this one, then it will fail the job. Okay, similarly we have quality profiles for different things. In case if you take Docker, for Docker we have 7 rules. Okay, so exposing administration service in security sensitive, so all these rules should be matched. So let's go for this one. In case if we have to modify this one and we have to customize, okay, just click here, you just copy it and then give whatever name you want. Okay, um, I'll give my name and then copy. So when you do copy, we have got new quality profile. Okay, and then active rules are 260, and then we have one more thing, it is called inactive rules. This is not activated. In case if some developers comes and they tell at least we need 300 rules. Okay, now we have 260, they will tell we need at least 300 rules. Then what you do, you click on this one and then just click on activate, and then you can define whether this is major or minor, whatever it is, you can activate. So we had 260, right? So now when we come back, if you see here, we have 264. So we have created 4 rules. So similarly you can change project. So you can whichever project you want, you can search and you can apply these rules. Okay, these are quality profiles are set of rules. Okay, so those rules are for identifying bugs, identifying vulnerabilities, identifying code smells, and identifying security hotspots. So for identifying these things, they are written the rules. And then we have quality gates. So what is this quality gate? So quality gate is that it is a coverage. So coverage should be is less than 80%. In case if we have 100 lines, it has to cover minimum 80 lines, it has to check minimum 80 lines. So in case if it is not checking 80% of the lines, then it will fail. And then duplicates, for example, they are writing same line multiple times, then it should be less than 3%, otherwise it will fail. So similarly they have given some rules. Okay, these conditions should be met. So these conditions are given by quality gate. In case if you want to create a new quality gate, you can just click on create, and then you can just save. Okay, so you will have this one. So default you can't edit, but test you can edit. For example, sometimes developers may come and tell this time code coverage is just 70%, you need to modify that one. Then you can just make it a 70 update condition. When you apply this condition, this quality gate to the code, then if it matches 70%, then it will pass. In case if it is less than 70%, then it will fail. Similarly, based on these ratings, it will allocate. Okay, this is the overview of quality gate. Now what we do, now let's integrate the Sonarqube with Jenkins and see how it works. Okay, so now we have Jenkins configured. Now let's come need to modify that one. Then you can just make it a 70 update condition. When you apply this condition, this quality gate to the code, then if it matches 70%, then it will pass. In case if it is less than 70%, then it will fail. Similarly, based on these ratings, it will allocate. Okay, this is the overview of quality gate. Now what we do, now let's integrate this Sonarqube with Jenkins and see how it works. Okay, so now we have Jenkins configured. Now let's come here, and then we have seen, right, like in case of job we can go here and we can configure, do these things. But in case if we have to do this for entire Jenkins, if we have to do for this entire Jenkins, then we have something called manage Jenkins. Okay, we have something called plugins. For example, in case if we have to work with, now we have to work with Sonarqube, right? So this is available plugins. So already the installed plugins are here. So ant plugin, bootstrap plugin, and then build timeout plugin. So all these plugins are already installed. Okay, but in case if you have to install something newly, we can click on available plugins, and here we have to install Sonarqube, right? So click on Sonar. So we have got this is Sonarqube scanner. So you just click on this one and then install. Okay, so if you see here, it is trying to install. So it is success. Okay, so now the plugin is installed. So once the plugin is installed, then you have to come to tools. Okay, in tools we have to configure the tool. So if you come here, we have git is already installed. So now we have something called add Sonarqube scanner. So click on this one, give a name. Okay, let's give it as Sonar, and then we can click on install automatically. So it will automatically install this Sonarqube scanner. Okay, save. Now let's come to system. If we come to system, so we will be able to see something called Sonarqube server. Okay, this is the main thing. If you come up, see, if you see here, for Jenkins, they have already given the URL. Okay, URL is the server of the this server's IP address. So this IP address they have given. So this IP address they have configured. Okay. Similarly, we are running the Sonarqube on the same server, right? So let's copy this IP address. Let's come to Sonarqube, add Sonarqube server. Let's give it name as Sonar, and then we can give the IP address, and it works on the port 9000. Okay. So we have configured the Sonarqube, and then we have something called server authentication token. Okay, the server authentication token is nothing but the thing which we have configured. We have come here to my account, and then in the security we have created this right token. This is the one we have to give there. So it has to connect to the Sonarqube, right? So we have to give this token. So let's come here. So here it is asking for token. So click on add Jenkins, and then what we have got? We have got some secret text, right? So give it as secret text. Okay, and then you can copy that secret text. Okay, you can copy this one. So you can paste it here. Okay, so you can give some description Sonarqube so that it will be easy for you to identify. Click on add. Okay, so once this is done, main thing is you may forget to select this one. So it is created, you just select this one and then click save. Okay, so once this is done, now we have this demo. So now what we have configured? Now we have configured Git. Okay. Now we have to configure Sonarqube so that when we configure Sonarqube, it will scan this Git repository and it will check. Okay. So now add a build step, and then we have to execute Sonar scanner. Okay. Click on this one, and then this inherit from job, it is fine, we can keep it like that. And then in analysis properties we have something called analysis properties. Like now we are running this Sonarqube, but it has to know which project, right? So currently we have only one project. That project is demo project. Okay, this is the only project. In case if we have multiple projects, in case if you have to run for different project, then we have to select that project. So how we can select that one? If you remember, we have selected, we have, when we created the project, we got something like this, right? So on our project key, just copy this one, and you can paste it in the project analysis properties. Okay, just paste this one, and then you can save. Okay, now let's try to build this one. Okay, if you see here, Sonar runner installation, so Sonarqube is started running. And then if you see here, it is empty now, right? Let's see what will happen after this is run. So it is still running. Let's wait. So in case if you see any issue also, by default you have to come to this console output and you can check the logs so that you will get to know what is the exact issue. So if you see, it has finished successfully. Now let's come here. It is empty, right? Now let's refresh. If you see here, so it has analyzed the code. Okay, if you click here, you see 7 bugs have been found. So these bugs are add an alt attribute to this image, and then these things. So it has but even though it has found these errors, it didn't fail the job. Why? Because we have set quality gate, right? The error should be less than 80%. If code quality is greater than 80%, then it will make the job as successful. So because of that, it has passed. So these things we can generate a report and we can send it to development team so that they can fix these issues. Okay. So we have deployed the package, so and it has finished successfully. Now now we have the package. Okay, now what we did now, okay, let me open. So now we add a GitHub repo. Okay, so we add a developer, he pushed code into GitHub repo, and then once the code is pushed, actually we have configured Sonarqube. Okay, so we have the code, we have checked the package. Now we have to build it. Now we have to build it and we have to see, right? So we can use Docker. And how we are running all these things? So all these things are running on Jenkins. Okay, so we have automated. So once the developer pushes the code, we have configured, we are pushing it into GitHub. From GitHub, we are pushing it into Sonarqube, and from Sonarqube, we will have the code checked, like whether it can pass or fail. So based on that, in case if it is passed, it will pass. In case if it is failed, it will failed. So we will be creating now. Once this is done, we will be building a package. We are building the package using Docker, and then we have to see the end result. Okay, and all these are automated using Jenkins. Okay, now let's try to install Docker. So for installing the Docker, um, first thing is we have to update this one, and then we have to install the cert URLs, and then we are adding the keyrings, and then we are adding them to the Docker package. Okay, let's copy this thing. Okay, let's duplicate. uh, okay, so let's paste it. So once this is done, we are adding the package and signing it with the URL. Okay, it is done. Paste. Okay, so packages have been added. Now what we have to do, we have to install the package. So sudo apt install docker. Okay, so here what they are doing, they are installing docker c, docker engine, docker cli, container d, and then built-in plugin. So they are installing multiple commands. Okay, these are multiple commands. Okay, just copy this one and then you can paste it here. Yes. Okay, now let's check docker. So to check docker is running fine or not, docker hyphen v. So if you see, so we are able to see all the docker commands. Okay, so by that we will know docker is running. So now let's do docker ps. If you see here, we are seeing permission denied. Okay, why? Because Docker will have separate user called Docker. Whenever we install a package, so that package will have separate user created. Okay, so actually now what we have to do, we have to give permission to that user. So how we can give permission? So we have to do it as sudo, and then we have to give the permission. So we have something called user mode. Okay, so user mode is for giving the permission for that one, and then we have to give it for all, and then for globally we have to give it globally, we have to give capital G. Okay, and then for which user we have to give, we have to give it for Docker user, Docker. And currently we are logged in as which user, we have logged in as Ubuntu user, so it will give access. Okay, so now let's try to do Docker PS. So again, it is saying the same issue. Now what we can do, just we can close the window. It is like we have to restart the Docker. Okay. Otherwise, we can do systemctl restart Docker, and it is asking for password. Okay. We don't have Ubuntu password now. Now, so what we can do? Now we can log in as sudo user. Okay. Okay. Now we are logged in as root user. Now we can change the password for Ubuntu. To change the password, passwd, and then we have to give Ubuntu. We have to change password for Ubuntu, right? So we'll give password. Now let me give new password for that one. Okay, I have password is updated successfully. Now I will exit of this one, and then now let me try to restart the Docker. Okay. Now again it is asking for password. Now I have the password. Okay, authentication complete. Now let's do Docker PS. Okay, it's not working. Maybe let's try to close this console itself. Okay, let's try to open this one. So okay, now we didn't get the error. Maybe we should close the console and open, I guess. So now it is working fine. uh, and meanwhile, okay, the Docker is ready. Now what we have to do, now we have Docker. Now we have to integrate with the Jenkins. Okay, so if we have to integrate with the Jenkins, what we have to do, first let's go here. So first we go to manage Jenkins. In case if we have any tool, no matter what tool it is, first we have to come to plugins. Okay, we have to check whether it is there. First we have to check whether it is installed. Now let's check for Docker. So we don't have anything. Now once it is not installed, come to available plugins. Now you can click on Docker. Okay, so now select this one, select this one, select this one, install. So if we come down, they are pending. Let's wait for it to complete. Okay, okay, the plugins are installed. Now once this is done, go to tools. Okay, so in the tools we have Docker installations. Okay, so click on add Docker, click give the name. Okay, you can give it as Docker, and then installation path, click on automatically. Okay, add Docker, and install automatically, save. So once you configure the tool, then you can come to system. Okay, so in the system, if you come down, okay, here we have Docker, but this is for pipelines. Okay, this is in when we use declarative pipelines, so that is not required for now. Okay, 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 that's it, I guess. Okay, now this is done. Now let's go here. Okay, click on demo, configure. So let's come down. So we have configured the Sonarqube. Now in the add build step, click on add build step, and then click on execute shell. Okay, it doesn't come. it is running. Configure. Let's build and publish. Why? There is some issue. It is not adding the build step. Let me restart this one. Okay. So sometimes you will need to restart Jenkins as well. So when you have to do it in your testing environment also, you can just use this one. Okay. Just after the port number, you can type restart. Okay. So it will restart. It will ask, are you sure you want to restart Jenkins? Yes. Okay. Jenkins is restarting. Okay. Let's see. Admin. Okay. Let's come here. Okay. We have this one. Okay, this is the password. So let's come here. Okay, let's come to demo, configure, add build step, execute shell. Okay, now it's coming. Okay, so we have got this shell. Now what we have to do? Now we have to, one second guys. Hello, Mohan. Chep Mohan. Okay, so now we have to do the Docker build. Okay, so first what we have to do? So first let's try to create a folder. Okay, let's try to create a folder. Let's come here. So cd home pwd. Okay, let me exit out of this one. So pwd. Okay, I will make a directory here. Okay, let's give name as web. Okay, so cd web. And then one more thing, guys. So, for example, if you are working on Jenkins, right? So by default, all the files it will be saved in a particular location. So that location will be cd var lib Jenkins workspace. So we have already seen, right? For example, if we come here under the dashboard inside this job, we have workspace. So So we have this one. So this will be at this location. Okay. So when we do LL, so we have demo. What is this demo? This demo is nothing but the job which we have created. So our job is demo, right? So we have that one. So all the files inside that one will be here. So if you want to go here, so we have demo cd demo ll. So we have all the files which are required. Okay. So let's go back. So we have to configure that here when we do the task. Okay, let's click on configure. So files are there. We have to copy those things. So execute shell. Okay, final test come. Okay, so let's copy. So what we have to copy? So currently we are in workspace, right? So let's copy all the files. So what is the location? Um, let's give this full path for now. So actually it shouldn't be like this. We can give dart itself. That itself it will work fine. But as we are giving full path, let's give this one star. Okay. And then where we have to copy? We have to copy to the root location. cd home and then we have called web, right? So we have to go here pwd. So if we are here, we have to just copy this one. So we have to copy and we can give the path here. So what it will do, it will copy the files from this location and it will paste it here. Okay. So we have the files ready. And then what we have to do, then actually we have to cd into that path. Cd and then just copy this one. Okay. So once it is copied, then we have to build. Okay. To build Docker images, Docker build -t and then we have to give name. For example, if you are using this web, we can give web and then we have to give data. We have seen the same thing in our Docker lessons, right? So we have to use this one. And then in case if we have to run the application, okay, we can use Docker run -t and then we have to give port because we have to access this outside, right? So we have to give this port. So actually now we have like use the port 8080, right? So now let give different port. Okay, 8081. Okay, then the container port is 80, that is default one. And then we can give the name can be like we can keep it as name. And then the image which we build out of this Docker build, the image name will be web. Okay, so we have to give the web. Okay, okay, let's not give same name for this one. Name can be website and then image name we can give it as web. Okay, so once we do this one, then actually it will create when we do Docker ps, the container should be up and running because of this one. Okay, now let's try to run this one. Save, build now. Okay, okay, it has failed. Why? Okay, so this doesn't have permission. So to this particular path. So let's try to give permission. Okay. So in case if you have to give permission, sudo ch own, and then like we have to give for all the files. Okay. So what we can do, currently it is Ubuntu user, right? Let's give it as Jenkins, and then for Jenkins user, and for which path? Home Ubuntu web. Okay. So we have given the permission. Let's see this one. So it has changed the permission. Okay. Let's come out. But okay, where is this one? Okay, this one is Jenkins cd dash dash ll. Okay, okay, but this one is still Ubuntu. Let's change for this one as well. Okay, for entire thing. Ubuntu web. Okay, we have given the permissions. Now what should happen? Cd home. Where is this one? Okay, cd home Ubuntu web. So let's go here. So currently this web folder is empty, right? So now what should happen? Now when we write this one, so when we try to build this one, if we check this configure, it should copy all the files which are in this location to home Ubuntu web. Now we have given the required permissions. Now let's save and then let's try to build. Let's see whether we get any issues or anything. Actually, you have done one mistake. It should fail. Yeah. CP home Ubuntu permission denied. Okay. Okay. Let's give it for full path actually. Okay. Let's give for full path itself. Okay. Okay. Now let's see. So build now. Guys, do you remember one thing? So let's come here. Let's see what is the issue. So everything is fine. Target again. KCP. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Okay, let's try to restart Jenkins and Docker once. Okay, restarting Jenkins. let's copy this one again, it may be required. Okay, this is restarted. Let's restart Docker runs. Okay, now let's try to build again. Okay, build now. Okay, let's try to
Can we
add.
give a triple
Let's.
seven permission?
Huh? Sorry, what?
Can we give a triple seven permission?
Anyways, 755 itself it will have enough permissions, right? 755 itself it will have enough permissions. Okay, I have given anyway. Let's try to add permission for that Jenkins again for Docker. User mode hyphen ag. Okay. Mm, okay, Sonarqube is down. Yeah, this is down. WD, okay, cd home. Okay, okay, oh, okay. For now, let's try to remove this Sonarqube. What permissions have given? Yeah, reset the permissions because of that. Ubuntu, and then okay, okay. Now series Sonarqube bin and then Linux. Now let's execute this one Sonar console. Okay, let's check whether it is up and running. Okay, it's loading. Now let's try to build our image. Okay, so actually we have made one more mistake, that is like we didn't create Docker file. Not sure whether due to that we are getting any issue. Let's try to create the Docker file and let's try again. Okay, so actually when we have configured this one, configure. So when we tried configuring this one, Docker build. So when this Docker build will work? Only when we have this Docker file. So actually in our GitHub repo we don't have that Docker file. Let's try to create that one. See if you see here we don't have a Docker file. Let's try to create that one. And then here actually this is HTML application. So let's do from Nginx and then let's copy the code whatever it is in the location to actually we have to give to the Nginx location. Docker hub Nginx. So this is the default path. Okay, let's copy this path. So let's come to this GitHub page and let's paste it here. Okay, so the code whichever it is there, it will be copied to this location. Commit changes, create Docker file. So we have the Docker file ready. Okay, now let's try to change that one. Now let's check the permissions once again. Okay, okay. Ubuntu slash web. Okay, let's give that 755 permission as well. Sudo chmod. Okay, let's give 777 itself. Home Ubuntu web. Okay, then what else we can check? Okay, sudo chmod. Okay, so let's come here. Okay, let's give this also as sudo. Let's see. Save, build now. Let's see whether it goes fine now.
We don't have to give a sudo, I think. The normal command.
Yeah, let's check. Maybe it may work now. Let's see. Okay, we have to give -r because we have multiple files, right? One more thing is like when we have multiple files, in case if it is single file, we can use cp, that is fine. But when we have multiple files, we have to use cp-r. Even when you use scp, like a secure copy, we have to use -r. Then it will be like a copying recursively. Hope we don't get again permission issue. Okay, so actually we fixed this issue. Like we have given the required permissions, right? So, but still it is showing as same error, like permission denied. So for this only we have given that -ag docker this thing permission denied. Let's check whether docker is running. Okay, it is there. Let's try to give permission again. Sudo user mod -ag docker Jenkins. Okay. Now let's try to restart Jenkins and ctl restart Jenkins. Guys, you will also face similar issues when you execute. It will not be a smooth road. Okay. When we face these type of issues, then only we will learn like what exactly we have to do. Because if everything goes in a single in a easy way, then we will not be able to troubleshoot. Restart Docker. You have to Google in case if you face any issues. Let's check groups as well. So if you see here in the Jenkins group, we have Docker now. Okay. So most probably it should work now. Let's see. Hey, okay, we have configured admin. This is the password. Okay, it is building the. Okay, now you see this has copied successfully, and then it is building the package. And then if you see number one, number two, these are nothing but different layers of Docker image. Okay, and if you see here, it is started running. Okay, Okay, let's come here. Okay, if you see here, already it is up and running. Okay, let's wait for the job to complete. Build GCC, OCC, start work progress. Okay, now actually, if you see here, it is up and running. And then now let's try to access this one. Okay, now this container is running. How we can access this one? So we have given the port. We have used same one, right? This one. Okay, and then what is the port number we have given? Actually, we have added it in the. If you see, actually we have to go and see in this file. Duplicate demo configure 80. We have built it on port 8081. Okay, so now we can access it on port 8081. But actually we have to add this in security group as well. Just copy this port and then come to security, and then inside security group we can edit inbound rules. So we have 9080. Let's add 8081. Okay, and then from all IPs, and then save. So this is saved. Now let's try to access this one. If you see here, the website is accessible. Okay, did the job complete? Okay, it will not complete, I guess. So it is just giving the live. It is giving the live logs. Okay, you are able to see all these live logs which are happening. So the application is accessible. Okay, the application is accessible and everything is fine. Okay, now actually what is the main thing? We have faced multiple issues related to permissions, and then mainly related to permissions we have seen. So when we change permissions and when we give correct permissions, we may be required to restart Docker and Jenkins. Okay, that is also a main step. In case if you are not restarting, then we may face issue. Okay, one more thing guys, let's quickly do one more project. Okay, so CSS, let's download a free CSS. Okay, we have some free CSS templates. Come here. Okay, let's select this one and then download this one. Okay, what it's downloading or not? Okay, it started. Okay, internet speed is fine. Okay, it got downloaded. It got downloaded twice. Okay, let's come here. Come to downloads. Okay, let's unzip this one. Okay, we have got this one. So okay, let's open this one. So now let's go to our GitHub repo. So now let's go to our GitHub repo and create a new repo. Okay, new repository. Let's give it as a new CSS. Okay, and then it is public, and then create repository. So once this is done, then we have opened here, right? So first we can do git init. We have to convert it into git, right? So we are initializing this one. So initialized git empty. Okay, now ls, we have these files. Now let's do git add dot. Okay, and then we do git commit hyphen m new. Okay, so what else we have to do? And then we can create the branch. Okay, so let's come here. Let's paste this one. Okay, and then git remote add. Just copy paste same thing here. So once this is done, git push. Okay, it is pushing. Now let's refresh this page. Okay, now we have this new code. Okay, this is a new code. Now what we can do? Now let's just copy this one. Okay, now let's just copy this one. Now let's go to our okay, let's stop this one. Let's stop this one. Okay, now let's configure this new repo. So what we do, just remove this one and paste it here. So once this is done, so when it builds again, the same code will be copied here, so no need of changing this one, it will be fine. Ducks, and then we are moving into this path, and then we are building. So if we come here, if we check Docker images, if you see, we have one image. This image is for this application which we have created. Okay, so we can't use same image, we have to give different name. So let's give the image name as web1, and then we have used this port as well, right? So we can't use that port. Let's give port number as 8082, and then name we can give name as new web site, and then image, which image will be this one, right? Web1, so we can use web1 image, and then let's save this one. Okay, so let's try to build now, and then meanwhile let's check this Docker ps. Okay, no more images are there. If we see Docker ps-a, this old image was there, so this one web1. So again, this when we do Docker ps, we have the container up and ready. Okay, but this time we have given port 8082, right? So let's copy this one, go to security group. Okay, in the inbound roles, edit inbound rule, and then you have to give 8082 from all ports, and then just save rules. Okay, now we have saved. Okay, now in order to access that one, what we have to do, we have to give the IP address. So IP address is this one. Let's just copy paste, and what is the port number? 8082. Enter. If you see here, we got a brand new website. Okay, so in case if you are continuously running this EC2 instance, this website will be accessible to you continuously. So in case if you can modify something, you can give these contact details. If you see here, in case if you open any branded site, it will just look like this only, right? See, all these details are there, so you can edit all the backend data, everything, and then see here you will be able to select 2017 Benz Mitsubishi style sedan, car type, something, select price. Okay, search. So you are getting all these things, but these things can be optimized based on this thing. Just here we have created a new website and we have automated. So all this automation we have done using Jenkins. See, it is running, and then what we have done. So it has failed a demo. Let's see what is the issue. So one condition failed. Okay, that is not an issue. Maybe overall code. Okay, that issue is in the code which you have got. We have copied the code, right, in the GitHub. So this code has some issue. So it has failed. That is the good thing about Sonarqube. See, it is showing the error, and it has showed as failed. So now you can go to developer. So developers can fix the issue, and they can tell. Okay. So but our website is up and ready. So similarly you can try as well, guys. um, so what we have seen, we have, okay, we can see one more thing. Okay, we have again some time, let's do that one. So uh, let's automate this one. So we have this one. So in demo, we are manually, always we are coming here and we are doing the build now, right? So now let's do one thing. Let's cancel this one. So configure. So here we have something called these commits. Okay. This is like for discarding old builds and then GitHub project, these things. And then we have something called build triggers. So when this build has to trigger, okay, trigger builds remotely, you can use some scripts and trigger this one, or build after other project is done. In case if one project is running, once that is completed, we can run another one. And then we can build periodically, we can give cron job and do this one. And then we have something called GitHub hooks. Okay, let's select this one and save. Now let's go to this file. So here let's go to settings. Okay, and then here we have something called webhooks. Click on that one, and then we have something called add webhook. Okay, so okay, so once this is done, so what we have to do, we have to add the URL. What is the URL? URL is nothing but the URL of the this one. So just copy. Okay, so once we have added this one, actually we have to give it as slash GitHub hook. Sorry, okay, actually we are triggering Jenkins, right? Okay, it will work on this one. So once this is done, what is the I port of Jenkins? 8080. So once this is done, then just give GitHub slash webhook. Okay, so it will create a webhook. Now uh, let me check. So we can check whatever, whenever the changes happens, we have to select. Okay, so just click on add webhook, and then for now we have 14, build number 14, right? So now let's go and do some changes. Okay, let's go to readme.txt, edit, and then I am removing this one. Okay, commit changes. So I'm making some changes here. Okay, I've made these changes. Now let's come here. Settings. Okay, maybe first time we need to run, I guess. Let's try. Okay, we have to change name. That's fine. Now, okay, let's try to make some change. Okay, we have added new file. Let's see. Okay, this pipeline is not picking. 1 second, let's create a new pipeline. Test webhook freestyle. Okay, and then here source code none, and then GitHub webhook, and then build step, execute shell, echo, testing the webhook. Okay, save. So meanwhile, let's go to this one. Step configure git. So we can give the repo. We can go to this code, copy, paste URL, credentials we not required, and then this is main. Save, build now. Okay, it is successful. Now let's try to change the code here. Test one, commit changes. Come whether this IP is correct. Invalid HTTP. Okay, okay, there is some issue with this one. Let's give port as well. Updater book. Okay, let's come to settings. Okay, it was success. Okay, guys, do you know what is the error? We have not given the slash. Because of this slash, it was showing error. So even this slash is important. Okay, so let's come here. Let's refresh. Testing the webhook. Okay, now we have two, right? Now let's try to change the file. Let's see whether it works. Okay, add new file, create file, test 3, commit changes. So if you come here, we had two builds, right? So if you see here, third build is automatically triggered. So it's finished waiting. Now it's building. That's it. It's successful. Okay, guys. So